Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. I'm Kevin, and today's vlog, I don't know what I'm gonna tell you because I literally lost all my creativity quite literally a few days ago. I don't know what happened, I'm just sapped. But I did get like some things, such as like these legs here, and this strange little like hole here, and just like, you know, you can pull this up kind of thing. But the whole deal with this has to do with probably the next vlog. So we'll see what happens. See, what do I want to tell you about today? I know what I'll tell you about. Actually, you know what? About the next vlog. Generally, most of these vlogs, I don't have them scripted or anything, just so you know. Like, this is completely freestyle. And it's just like, it's unfiltered. Sometimes... Well, actually, one of the things is like that's really crappy is that I notice I'm catching myself censoring myself sometimes and trying to be politically correct, and I find it to be really annoying, but I just gotta do it because that's how sensitive the world is. And generally what you see here is, I would have to say, somewhat of a fake. So what you see here isn't actually always me. It's me in the public, but it's not me in the like actuality. And I guess that's what today's vlog is going to be about. It's about the things I'm terrified of. There's three things I'm terrified of. One is becoming a father. Holy crap, like I can never fathom like the entire course of like all the responsibilities that come with becoming a father, and I have no idea how to deal with it. I am not in a position to become a father, like none of that. So that's actually like one of the most terrifying things in my life. I'm sure it'll also be one of the greatest feelings as well, but at the same time, I will be terrified as fuck. But there's not much to go on that one. The second one I'm terrified of is artificial intelligence. Technology is accelerating like crazy. That is without a doubt. It's accelerated so fast in the past 20 years. I've only been on this planet for about 20 years, or close to 30, I guess. 20, 30. I'm in my mid-20s, so whatever. So the story here I'm trying to tell you is that AI is very fucking terrifying. So, and why is that? You might be like, oh, but AI is like, it's new, it's powerful. You're creating a new race is basically what's going on here. And when humans have the ability to create a new race, sure, that sounds amazing and all, but this new race, for instance, thinks at a lightning speed, like a million times faster than you. So, what was it? I was explaining this to my friend, and he was like, wait a minute, did you grab this from an article or somewhere? I swear to God, I did not grab this from anywhere. It's literally what I learned from programming school. Okay, so your computer runs at 32-bit or 64-bit as of like current. If you're running on 32-bit, that's actually a little strange. You're a little behind the times here. So 64-bit, right? So what does that even mean? A bit is basically a switch. A bit is like a switch. It has two states. This is binary computing. Binary computing is what most of us know as of currently. It's like zeros and ones. I'm not giving you, this isn't even a trigger warning. I'm just like, you know, if you're following along, you'll understand why this is terrifying. So what happens is AI is computer. So if you give it the ability to learn, it'll learn at a rate that is impossible for human life. What happens is 32 bits. So say you have 2 bits or whatever. So 2 bits, you've got a switch on and off for each of them. So each bit has 2 switches. It can be on and it can be off. So and if you have 2 bits, then you can have a combination of on and on, off and off, on and off, off and on. So that's 4 different combinations. So for every bit that you add, your choices multiply by 2. And at 32 bits, how many choices is that? That's like 2 to the power of 32. Geez, how much is that? That's 429496726 different combinations. So if you can't even count it, the computer can figure this out in less than a nanosecond. And 1 second in computing time is like an eternity for the computer. For us, it's like 1 second's like super fast. Like, what the hell? Yeah, but for a computer, one nanosecond is like whatever. That's like their normal time. 1 second is like an eternity. A few minutes is like a few years in computing. You know what's a great example? Just go watch the TV series Reboot, okay? When the computer actually restarts, that's literally how many episodes it might actually take in a computer's life before it actually has to reboot and go, oh my god, everything's dying. What is going on? System reboot, incoming game. that's when a program's being loaded in. Reboot's actually a very good TV show to actually explain most of this stuff. So that's how many combinations there are with 32 bits. Now with 64 bits, that's even more. Okay, so that number gets even bigger. So instead of having 32 switches, you now have another extra row of switches. So you multiply that number of combinations with this number of combinations, and that's how many more combinations you can suddenly have. And when you go into AI can manipulate all of these combinations at any given moment, like almost instantaneously. Or it can run through sequence. When it runs through sequence, it goes extremely fast, hyper fast, whatever. So for instance, if you make an AI that can learn, which it seems to be on the cusp, like we're at the turning point in technology today where that's actually possible. There's a reason why a lot of the great minds in the world all sat together in a conference and basically vowed saying like, no, we should not make AI. Although it's like all the great minds have said, no, we shouldn't do it, people will still do it. It's practically like, yeah, you can make a nuclear bomb, but it's not like you should. So that's kind of like the discovery in technology that it is. It's the technology that is basically saying it's a double-edged sword. It can be very beneficial, and it can be extremely destructive as well. And knowing how the human race is, when was the last time we believed in ourselves to do good? We probably do worse most of the time, and we rarely ever do good. We always struggle to do good, but I'm pretty sure most of us always do something stupid or really dumb, for instance. And making a learning AI is why one of the most terrifying things. It's just, if you can imagine like that amount of combinations that a computer can go through in a few seconds, whereas for you it take probably maybe a whole year just to write it out, or even more or longer, the computer can do it in like a few seconds. And that to me is terrifying, especially if it can learn, like just let it go across the internet, it become a singularity, and then we're all fucked. Like whoever's connected to social media and whatever, like myself included, like I'll be fucked too. But I mean, I'm only doing this because I actually want to do these things. But these are one of the most terrifying things that I'm scared of in the future, and it will happen in my lifetime. It's very possible. It's very possible. It's very plausible. It's not improbable, and it's certainly not impossible. Especially when people are making androids and robots already. So. I feel like AI should slow the fuck down, but and like medicine technology can accelerate as fast as it wants, as long as it never gives us immortality. Like immortality is a bad idea, if you ask me. But that's one of my top 2 fears. My third fear is, of course, it's like, God, some of you are just gonna be like, oh, I hate you, Kevin. Like, why do you talk about this shit now? Well, I want to talk about it because it's important, and it possibly will affect you in the near future. And I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about like 30 years or 40 years. It's like 10, 20 years. It could happen. Like, why not? Give you a great example of what's really changed in the past 20 years. So, third thing that I'm terrified of is climate change. The world is getting hotter. I'm gonna say this now because I've been wanting to say this for weeks, but I wasn't really too certain how I wanted to deliver this information, considering how much climate change denial there is across, like, from what I've seen anyways on the platforms. I'm sure a lot of people actually know that climate change is a real thing. If not, you must be insane, because it's like saying cell phones don't exist. Oh, sorry, it is 2:14 in the morning. I am a little nuts, but what is it? Yeah, climate change is a real thing. I will say it straight out right now. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, when they told us like, oh, the world's we're having global warming or whatever, right? The world's being warmed up. It's humans caused it or whatever. Yeah, I would say humans have caused it. Why the fuck not? It's yeah, even though the planet is millions and millions of years old, 20 years ago, none of us were connected on YouTube, okay? None of us had social media. There was no such thing as Facebook. It was maybe just a newborn. We all had like freaking MySpace and like MSN Messenger. People even know what the hell that is even more. Or like ICQ or AIM. Like people, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. So, 20 years ago, these things didn't exist, okay? If you can connect the entire world, or at least like a majority of the world in the past 20 years, and say that climate change isn't a thing, you're crazy, okay? The fact that you can lay waste to the entire surface of the earth by firing nukes everywhere from every country at every single, like, piece of habitable land and have the entire surface become a nuclear fallout wasteland like Fallout, like the game, quite literally, that is what will happen. And in like a matter of months, like we actually have the possibility as humans to do that as of right now, if everybody wants to throw at the shitstorm and see the world burn. Quite literally, all the countries that hold nukes literally have to be like, yeah, let's fire a nuke here, here, and then like, quite literally, like in a month we'll be all dead. It's actually not very. That's not something hard to actually imagine, considering every country, a lot of countries hold like these bombs, and that also coincides with like my terrifying fear of AI, for instance. It's something you can make, but it's not something you should. Like holy shit. So climate change is one of the terrifying things that I am terrified of. In like the next 20 years, I actually believe if the planet does not want to make any action, there will be a certain point in time within my lifetime where it'll be too late to turn it back, or it'll be extremely hard to turn it back because why there's nothing being done? Well, there is stuff being done from like people who are really, really like genius. They're inventors of today's age, but most of the things that they make are being hindered by corporations because business, which is really fucking annoying. So we could have a lot more cool shit, but because business, we're not getting it, which really sucks. Think about it. It's like the world's being overpopulated. The world's definitely heating up, so I don't want to live in a fucking desert in the future. Think about like there's like very little space or good areas to live in the world kind of thing. So then the question is where can you expand? Like just in terms of like the survivability is if a lot of places occupied and some places are heavily overpopulated, where would you want to expand? Well, obviously like the problem is that a lot of the world is water. It's ocean. So that'd actually be the next area, and there are actually articles out there that there are people attempting to create habitable houses that work on the water. And you might be like, that's insane. It's like the water will always get in or whatever. Well, you say that, but like I said, 20 years ago, nobody held these damn things, okay? This is like the whole world was not connected. We did not have shit called social media. We did not have jargon called freaking YOS, freaking stupid terms, slang. We did not have that much slang back then, 10-20 years ago. Like holy shit. The fact that kids go to school with an iPad these days is unbelievable to me. Look at the streets, everybody's just doing that. 10 years ago, people were like walking and talking with their friends. It's so much more easily approachable to other people. These days, I feel like I say something that could be profound or thought-invoking to somebody, and they'll suddenly flip out and freak out and go, holy shit, like, get away from me, stranger. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. You know, if I'm gonna approach a stranger, I'm gonna introduce myself at first. Okay, there's no freaking way I'm gonna just randomly. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, climate change, guys. Is you might be like, God, you're so brainwashed. Whatever. Climate change isn't real. Yeah. Okay. Sure. You know, 10, 20 years later, fuck. If 20 years can bring you this. This is like a remote control to everything in your life. Like if I lost my phone right now and all the shit I have on here is gone, I actually wouldn't feel too bad, apart from going like, well shit, I just have to get some phone numbers back. But apart from that, I can't say the same for kids that are like underneath that are younger than me. Like, I've read articles of some people losing their iPhone or something, and then they committed suicide. And I was like, this is unreal. That's so radical. It's extreme. Like this, your life should not depend on this. Like, yes, I know it's extremely convenient and it helps your life a lot, but if you lose this, you shouldn't have to kill yourself. That's fucking nuts. So, yeah, guys, that's today's vlog. Thanks so much for listening to me up to this point if you made it here. I hope maybe this gave you some perspective. You know, I always make these vlogs in that I hope you can gain something from it. That's all I really want to do. If I brought a smile to your face, wonderful. If I just made you terrified of the entire world in the future, I'm so sorry, but it is a reality. And, you know, well, it's not absolute, but a hell of a possibility is very high. Okay, I'm not saying this because it's like, oh, it might happen. No, it probably will happen. There's kinds of probabilities where I gauge it as it's sort of something that'll never happen, or either that it's very unlikely, or yeah, it's possible, or this is really likely gonna happen, or this is most definitely gonna happen. Where I gauge these three fears is, it is most likely gonna happen, most definitely gonna happen, except maybe the first one. Jesus, there's no time for that stuff. Like day in, day out, I quite literally woke up just an hour ago and it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Just think about that. I woke up at 1 a.m. That's so fucked up. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.